Today on Can Haz Armory, how to rewire a foil blade. A lot of us need to know how to do this one too. Okay, this time let's rewire a foil blade. Now, the cleaning process is pretty much the same as the epee blade as far as the grinding out. You do have to turn the blade sideways a bit like this to make sure you get all sides of the channel. But when I'm done there, I want to grab a razor blade and run down the blade to make sure I don't get any gunk in there like from the Q-tip. So I'm bringing it down here. I don't see anything yet. Looking good. And a little bit on it, not much. I'm also going to look down the blade and make sure that I don't see anything in there that I missed, because sometimes the blade will not pick up stuff stuck. Is that a shadow, or is that... No, it's a shadow in the blade. Okay. So you see what looks like pits in the blade, look like stuff in there, but that's actually a shadowing from the grinding. I don't see anything in here right now. That's gonna be cut. Oops. All right. And okay, good, excellent. Because if there are little bits of the Q-tip in the channel, then the wire tends to get pushed up over it, and if it's up above, it may get hit and broken by a blade. So there's that. Now we have a brand new point, a brand new wire. This is a German point, FWF extra thick one. Now the German points, you don't have to pull the screws all the way out, just enough so the tip will come out. Note that my finger's on top of it, so you just go flying across the room. There's loose there, so the tip's out. Not quite. Still kind of caught. Find the screwdriver slot would help. There it goes. Like the other side. There it goes. Now it tips out. Dump the spring out. On a French tip, you have to move the screw all the way out. On a, we jokingly call it a Belgian tip. It's a German wire with a French rotating system. Screws has gone all the way out, but on the traditional Germans and the V2s and the extra thick, snap this back off a bit. New wire. Okay, let's unwind it. And just like the epee wire, grab below the head and pull to straighten the wire out. Make sure there's no kinks in it. If there weren't, okay, fine. Put the wire again through the top, through the hole. Got it first time. And again, same amount, inch, 2 inch, inch and a half or so hanging out for the exact same reason. Screw the barrel down as far as it goes, finger tight. This is doing a 5mm wrench, not a 6 like an epee. Same thing, turn around, make sure it's still moving. And okay, now it's tightening up as far as I want to go. Now, the thing about foil barrels, unlike epee, if you take a standard foil barrel, not the extra thick, but the standard old ones, the V2s, the Germans, even the French maybe, if you over crank it, you'll split the barrel. If you get a crack in the barrel anywhere down here, it's actually got a crack or split in it, toss the barrel, rewire, because that barrel's going to come apart. If it falls apart while fencing, you have a spike in your hand. So there's that. Going through easily. Now on the wire, if you can see it, there's a little brass hat in the cup. It's like a little T shape. The outer ring of that is where the spring sits. The center portion is a little dot, like a little nipple. That serves no purpose. It's just a part of the forming process. You can push down on that part of the screwdriver, not do anything damage to the system. So all the way down. Again, as you push down, you pull the wire. Make sure nothing bunches up down here in the bottom. That's in. Spring goes in. I'm going to make sure that the little brass hat on the tip is not loose, which is not. All the way down. Get my screwdriver in the slot, and then I'm going to start up and down like this with the tip to make sure it's going to engage the proper part of the tip, which is the little empty tire rim. Okay, now it's engaging. There's that. Note how much travel there is too. There's actually quite a bit of travel there. There used to be a rule where you had to have there's a gauge. Nobody used that gauge for foil for decades, so nobody uses it anymore. There, screws are in. I'm going to do the burn again. Strip it first. Strip the key, burn it. Okay, it's burned. Alrighty. And hook it into my little test rig. Unlike epee, however, I'm only going to use the B crock clip, and then the C line, which is this here, clip to the weapon. I have a BC closure, which is the circuit I want. I now have a BC closure on the box, which I'll show in a second. Put the weight on it, and it passes. So hang on, I'll show that other one. Okay, as you can see here, the C line is not connected. The B line is on that thing there. C line to it, we have connection. BC, put the weight on it. Weight's down, it's white going off in the box. Let go, reestablishes. That passes weight. This weapon's now ready to wire up. Okay, so the taping the wire down, same as it was in epee. So we don't have to worry about wires crossing, there's only one. The same technique. Masking tape. Around the tang for the same purpose. Okay. And for the same reason, pull the wire straight. Pull it taut. Again, not yanking it, just pull it nice and snug. If it's in the groove, if you want it snug, wrap the wire around it. And wrap the wire around the tang. Okay, now, the only difference in the gluing part of this is with the nozzle of the glue bottle. As you use the glue bottle, it gets chewed up and the nozzle gets bigger and bigger. It's hard to make it into the groove. Easy on epee, foil sometimes not as easy as it could be. So let's do the front extremity first, so you can see it. Let's give me the same idea. Okay, so I forgot to get over this part. The glue I use is from Bob Smith Industries. It is called Instacure. There are different Instas. There's Instaflex, which is a pink label. Otherwise, it's basically the same in terms of being a gap-filling glue that won't run real far, real fast into the tip, whatnot. Much easier to control. The big deal between these two is they're both rubberized super glues, which are meant to take the flexing the blades go through. You can get them in most hobby stores. I get mine at a radio-controlled hobby store down the road from me. Again, Bob Smith Industries, link will be in the description. Insecure, Instaflex is the brand and type that I use. Now back to the video. Glue bottle, just put a little glue here. And also because the accelerator from the bottle and the Q-tip. Because the nature of the groove, I'm going to push it down with my small screwdriver, make sure it's in the groove. Had a friend of mine once years ago was doing this in poor lighting conditions, actually glued the wire to the outside of the blade, for which I gave him complete crap for. Okay, now the other side. And you can see, really can't what I'm seeing, the wire kind of comes up here a bit. This actually, the wire's a little above the surface, right there. You see the wire there. So that's why I'm pushing it down to make sure that it goes into the groove before I'm bending it. The floor groove is not as deep as the epee groove, and as it gets loose, it pops up a bit. We don't want that. There's another reason to do the front and back ends here. Epee, I'll push it down from the back. Foil, I'll push it down from forward in the front. Make sure it's down. Glue is set. Get the wiring chain. It's ready to go. It's still set on number 5 French grip. So put the cap over it. Bend a string in a bow. There we go. And make sure the wire's in the groove, because sometimes it pops out. And the procedure is pretty much the same as was in epee. You know, the only difference is you have to be careful that the glue goes into the groove and not on top of the blade. So this is the camera, give you a better shot here. Okay, so here we go with the glue. Start outside the frame, come back into it. Again, I'm starting just above where the thing was, making sure the nozzle is in the groove. And again, not going very fast. This is the case where you look for the sheen of the glue to make sure it's in the groove, and sometimes it's really hard to tell. So that with a new bottle, it's very easy. With the older bottles, the nozzle is chewed up. It's more difficult. That's why I have a whole box of extra nozzles, which I will replace frequently. Oops, slipped out of the groove, no problem. Even more important, you don't go fast here, so you don't put a bubble into it. There's that. And now the accelerator. And run the Kleenex down, which is even more important in this one, because given how the size of the blade, it's much more likely for the glue to kind of come squidging over the top and on the sides and gets in your hands and that kind of good stuff. So, same thing, we take it out of the bow and put it backwards, check for popped wires. Let's see. I see no pops, but now I have a lot of excess glue on the top here, the nature of the thing being what it is, so we're gonna grab that scraper again and just go down and get all the glue off. You probably see more than come off here. If you look carefully, you can see the threads of the super glue coming up. I need to change this blade. This one has to make it look nice and neat. On the other side here. All that done. And grab the metal finishing pad again. Feel the spot where I missed the blade. Peel that off. See, there's some extra super glue stuck in the blade there. Much better now. Don't feel anything on either side. And now once again, bend it backwards again. Make sure it didn't take too much glue off. And check. That's a problem with foil, not so much with epee. Okay, that was ready to go. Now let's put some tape on it. Okay, so let's tape this tip up. I use 1-inch gaffer's tape. Do not use duct tape or hockey tape. Use the gaff tape, it's the best one. I'm setting our video around 6 inches length. Okay. Put the tip on. This blade is properly taped now, ready to go. And now let's go ahead and do the strip the wire and put the insulation on. Same thing as in the epee video, about the same distance up from the shoulder and about the same amount off. And for the same reason. Okay. Get some spaghetti tubing, put that on. And wind it around. This is an inventory blade. As before, electrical tape. And now this blade is ready for sale or installation to somebody else. And that is how you rewire a foil blade. Happy armoring.